This is game 5 of the current series. If you've not seen the preceding games, you may want to watch those first. There is a link and a button on the video there, as well as in the description. Here we go into game 5 of the Asus Rogue Winter Assembly final between M.Stephano and TSL.Polt. Polt is currently up 3-1 in this best of 7. Now, Stephano is our red Zerg down in the southwest position here on Core Hall Compound, while Polt is the blue Terran up in the northwest, or northeast. Yeah. Now, last game, Polt had a pretty commanding situation the whole time. He, expanded early. Stephano went for some aggression, bailing play, rather than staying ahead when Polt expanded early, and yet never really did any damage. And then Polt took an upgrade advantage, contrary to how most of the series had been running, and really had a commanding position in most of the battles. Stephano, once again, very early scout. Polt, once again, working on a wall right away for the standard openers.
Is there no good luck, have fun this time?
Oh, on cue. It has been shortened once again, though. He's not even calling him Polt.
It's manner tilt.
He gets an exclamation point, though. And he gets, the little comma, so, I mean, he's still putting more effort into it than most people.
Yeah, plan for... Polt is up 2 already, so he's 3-1. He just needs to win one more game in the next 3?
Yep.
Stephano again going 14 hatch.
The drone being locked out this time. Perhaps Stephano wasn't paying attention?
Kind of looked like it.
Although he had gotten in and scouted already.
Yeah, I mean, he's had enough information, just didn't get a chance to, kill an SCV, 2 Marines, and become a base.
Now Polt comes in and sees everything is exactly as it has been. And drops a bunker right next to the ramp. Very similar position to last time.
Yeah.
Creating a little pocket next to the ramp, even if the bunker was not able to complete. But 4 drones are here. Oh, don't quite get us around on the SCV. The SCV escapes for now, but it's under 10 health.
Yep.
This bunker's not going to go anywhere. It's almost dead.
But doing this has been... Well, it's resulting in victories, even if it's not the cause. It is... has been working decently for Polt.
Yep.
Costing at least some mining time on the 4, however many drones get pulled. Marine going out to check for the Overlord scout, but the Overlord has avoided detection.
Yeah, a couple Marines moving out over in the northwest. Just trying to catch those Overlords.
Overlord's already at the cafe over here.
Yeah, hanging out by the park. And more Overlords expanding elsewhere. Spine crawlers on the way. The factory has been switched onto the reactor. First group of Hellions just about to come out. Barracks just about to finish building the tech lab. Zergling comes in, isn't quite killed by the Hellions, but is still stopped on the ramp by a Marine. Polt's command center about 3/4 of the way done.
Yep, stim just starting up. It's clearing Zergling off of the Zelnaga towers.
Now this time Stephano cut gas after getting just enough to do link speed. And he is currently still droning hard. 4 Hellions now, hanging out outside of the creep spread. Spinecrawl and a cream sort of ready for him here. Only 1 Ling. Second Queen on the ramp. Ready to help prevent a run-by. That would be one of the dangers right now with as few Zerglings as he has. 4 more Zerglings not coming out. Spinecrawler moving up. Queens also move up. Polt a little late on the reaction to move them away, but M.Stephano pulls back too. 2 more Hellions arrive. A little bit more back and forth. A couple Lings get burnt up. The Spinecrawler is now done resituating itself right at the edge of the creep.
Yep, during that little exchange, the Scout Overlord got taken out by 4 Marines up in Polt's main.
M.Stephano adds an evolution chamber right now near the bottom of this ramp. To make a little bit more for the Hellions to have to worry about. Also adding another evolution chamber and another Spinecrawler. So making it decently tighter around there. Meanwhile, back at his base, Polt's second has landed. He has a couple SCVs working on building a wall of supply depots. Starport is just about to finish. He's also getting re-establishing a reactor on his factory, having given the other reactor to a barracks. And it finishes as is the Starport. The Starport gets switched to the reactor.
Yep. Lair Tech getting started up, Stim just finishing. Baneling Nest about 4/5 of the way down.
The Spinecrawlers are once again situating themselves farther forward on the creep, just about on top of the Hellions, forcing the Hellions back for a moment. Hellions decide they're going to come in and try to burn the Queen a little bit while the Spinecrawlers are resituating. And they get out before they take any damage. Didn't particularly accomplish anything. The Queen still has over 100 hit points left. And the creep is continuing to expand out with a couple more creep tumors.
Yeah, adding 2 new creep tumors.
More Marines, however, now making it across the map, as with the first group of first group of medevacs.
Macro hatch in the main's about halfway done.
Marines stem in and are going first, targeting down the Spinecrawler. Running away as the Banelings start making their way towards them. Banelings turn around, get fried up by the Hellions. Spinecrawler goes down as Polt pushes once again. Polt still pushing in. Going for the second Spinecrawler now.
More.
Transfusing the Spinecrawler extends its life a little bit, but it does ultimately go down. Still 6 Hellions and a decent number of Marines here. 9 Marines and then the 2 medevacs. Killing all the active creep tumors. Lings coming up once again. Banelings getting good connections on the Hellions. Marines still doing alright. 6 Marines get into one of the medevacs, and the medevacs fly off.
Yep, M.Stephano did sneak a drone out to expand in the north.
Yeah, currently hidden expansion over the 9 o'clock position. Let's see if Polt is headed that way, though. Looks like he's going to find it.
Yep,
yeah, he's going to find
it. His 2/2 upgrades now.
That'll force the cancel. And more Marines, as well as the second 2 medevacs, are now joining this group. Lings are making their way north. They might try to save this hatchery. No, it gets cancelled anyway.
And the drone gets killed anyway as well.
M.Stephano's Lings already have 1-1, working on 2-2. But once again, he's resuming his pattern of being the one with the upgrade advantage. Polt's Marines, 0-0, just about halfway done, getting +1. Siege Tech is just about to finish. Yeah.
And the third command center is about 2/3 of the way done.
M.Stephano now taking a different third, down by the 6 o'clock position. And has a lot of his Zerglings, or nearly all of his Zerglings, moving out towards the east on the southern side of the map. Just a smaller group heading up north.
Yep, a couple of Lings.
Turning around.
A couple of Lings sitting, waiting to watch for the timing on Polt's third. Which is now actually set to go land there.
Armory is now on the way, as is a second engineering bay.
Polt's army moving out across the map along the east side.
Yep,
huge group along with Banelings.
Yep, now joined by the first infestor. The first few infestors, 4 more arriving now.
Wings and Banelings split up into two groups.
Attacking from flank,
Try to get a
decent
pincer.
fungal. Costing Fetcher's life though, but the Zerglings are allowed to get great surrounds. And Stefano's gonna clean this up. All the tanks died. Just 8 Marines loaded up into medevacs, and 4 medevacs flying away. Stefano now heading north, going to that northern watchtower. Marine exploiting that amazing position for a Marine to stand in against melee units near the tower. But still not able to hold against a large group of Zerglings. Upgrade advantage currently well in Stefano's favor, 2-2 versus 1-0.
Wings poking in here at the third for Polt. There's some Marines here to defend, but well, looks like Stefano's gonna just sort of let him hold that for now.
They didn't want to commit against the planetary fortress, particularly with the bio army there ready to help too. Now he's going in. Banelings try to run away. A bunch of Banelings burst on the planetary fortress. Planetary goes down.
A fungal holds some SCVs in place.
Doesn't kill him though. And Stefano leaves, having basically all that was trade of was a bunch of Banelings and a few Zerglings for the planetary.
Yep, he also
A few
started
other
his
units
fourth
died.
wave.
Yeah, taking his 4th in the southeast. Couple Zerglings coming in to check out the damage, seeing the workers long-range mining. Catching a couple of the SCVs here. The SCVs get pulled to turn around and attack them.
Yeah, but upgraded Zerglings doing a fairly good job.
Yeah, 2-2 Zerglings doing quite a number on upgraded SCVs.
Couple shots being taken by Marines down here against Stefano's entire army.
Now Polt's army is grouped up here down in the southeast. A few Zerglings move forward to test if the siege tanks are there. They are.
Confirming that siege tanks can kill Zerglings quickly.
Now, larger group of Zerglings now going towards what had been Polt's 3rd. Seeing that there's barely any long distance mining still happening, but catching the one SCV that was still there.
Marines pushing into Stefano's 4th. They're going to take out this hatch uncontested.
Yeah, quick clean snipe on that hatch. One more Zergling coming in to check. There are enemy units there. Massive swarm of Lings, though. Hanging around by this 3rd. Ready to counter if Polt decides to push in. Polt has a big long siege line across this southeast position, southeast position. Now the bio forces are pushing in to catch the ice beam geyser, or that gas. Few Zerglings push them away for now. Decent exchange though. Tanks are moving up. One tank is in this just terrifying position here. Anti-peninsula position.
Yeah. He needs to leapfrog the back. Frog a little bit more, I think. He's about a 1/3 of the map away.
Bio moving in once again, chasing away the mineral line, catching a couple of the drones. Now going to kill the hatchery. Relatively uncontested. Lings did not come in to defend it. Stefano is massing though. He now has Ultralisks. He's up at 2-2, working on 3-3. Also working on getting that extra armor upgrade for the Ultralisks.
M.Stephano's his 4th is getting found. I guess it's now a 3rd. Found by a Marine.
Stefano's forces are moving up to the northeast. Polt sees it, and his whole army is in transit, trying to intercept. Stefano catches him in motion. A couple tanks unsieged here. Gets great contact and surround on this army. Nothing like flanking a Terran army on the move for a Zerg.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate.
Long line.
Kind of unfortunate for Polt that he's got 3 tanks on here that sort of sieged up because they were all in the control group that got told to siege, and they're just completely out of the fight.
Yep, now cleaning off the medevacs even with fungals and infested Terrans. Yeah, Polt's army routed. Stefano up at 160 supply, Polt at 133. And behind this, Stefano has healthy mining going on at his new 3rd. At the position that his original 3rd, all that long time ago had been.
Polt very, very nearly taking out one of his own supply depots before just, you know, lowering it to walk across.
Stephano reestablishing his fourth. Not quite
Polt
in time
also,
to save Polarva.
Yeah, Polt regrabbing his third.
Yep, and his army's there ready to defend it this time. Stephano moving up north, a lot of Lings, a few Ultralisks. They're now all happily, nearly fully upgraded, almost going to get their third armor upgrade. However, Polt has good upgrades this time too, he's sitting at 3-2 as well. Also working on his third armor upgrade, and the vehicles are +1, very close to being +2.
So I'm dropping a fifth again in that lower position.
Yeah, southeast. Stephano fanning his forces out, dropping a few distractionary beach balls to catch some siege tank fire. Charges in here, gets a lot of surface area. A couple nice fumbles, catching some tanks fairly well. But some forces down in this choke point are able to hold, and Stephano instead pushes in towards the natural. So Lings and an Ultralisk into the mineral line of the natural, doing a bunch of damage. Polt is cleaning it up from behind though with this force that held at that choke point.
But he lost almost the entire mineral line there.
Yep, those last few Ultralisks and Zerglings just now being cleaned up. But Polt is down, was down in the low 80s, now at 93 supply to Stephano's 116. Just now cleaning off the last couple Zerglings that had been fighting back in the base.
Yeah, Polt now on one mining base. Got a lot of mules at it, but...
Polt down at 24 SCVs to 69 drones. Yeah, he has 1.5 about... Well, he has 2 bases to mine from, but one of them, I mean, mineral fields have... Some of them have 2-digit, mineral counts, other ones just a couple hundreds. Polt is moving in on Stephano's third, though. It is going to go down relatively uncontested. But Stephano going for the counterattack right up into Polt's main and natural area. Catches a bunch of Marines and tanks once again in transit, getting great surrounds. Heading in towards the main. Catches a few bio and a fungal. A little bit of indecision. Now catching a few more units as they stream in here for Polt.
Yeah, turn around to fight the army rather than going in for production or SCVs.
But, the terrible position Polt was in with his units streaming around and just being caught in small groups or even individually, still allowing the situation to turn out in his favor. Polt just now hitting 99 supply again, Stephano up at 129, so Stephano's still holding a solid supply lead. And still mining much more healthily, 68 drones to still just 28 SCVs.
Yep, a lot of tanks, marauders, medvacs, and marines moving down here to the 5th, though.
Yep, gonna kill this 5th uncontested.
So that'll put Stephano back onto basically one mining base.
Yep, only about half the drones make it out alive. And yet Polt, once again, has a solid position near Stephano's, what is currently a third down the southeast.
So are we expanding to a 4th? Dropping some beach balls by Polt's mining base.
Yep, scaring the SCVs away a little bit there, but the Planetary Fortress is doing a great job of defending itself.
But he is going to lose this hatch down in the south.
Yep, and that reduces Stephano to no mining currently. Just a couple mineral nodes left in his main and his natural. Very low.
Yeah, transferring all of his drones to the new... Well, now it's a 3rd.
To the once again 3rd. This is the 3rd time it has been the 3rd. Currently long distance mining, but the hatchery is just about to complete. Meanwhile, his army is moving around in the north central position, kind of near the tower. Moving away as Polt's army approaches that same area. Stephano still has the supply advantage at 131 to Polt's 116.
Stephano's got the 2 infestors sitting here to keep dropping beach balls to scare away mining at the Polt mining base.
And that is crucial for him right now, because that is helping keep Polt on this, you know, similarly limited economy to his own. And then Polt drops a whole bunch of mules. Polt is catching up in the supply count, up at 126 to 137. And his army is well positioned here to defend his third, making its way towards Stephano's third. Leapfrogging tanks. A very healthy marine count. Stopping the creep spread. Whereas Stephano is amassing for what looks like a counterattack. In the making, anyway. Yep, Lings, Ultras, and some Infestors making their way up towards Polt's bases. From behind Polt's army. Polt's army is wheeling around to try and stop them, but he's not unsieging yet. Just now he's unsieging. But Stephano does not commit to going into the base. He's still going to engage the army. Catches a huge fungal on a bunch of Marines.
Clean up all those Marines that got caught.
Yeah, both sides have disengaged for now. And Stephano is now heading up towards Polt's bases once again. Dropping fungals and infested Terrans up on the high ground. Past the wall. Tanks moving up, sieging just in time to get a few shots on the Ultralisks and Infestors as they leave.
Yep, now long distance mining from his 3rd/4th.
Yeah, the other location that has periodically been his 3rd. It's only about a third of the way done with construction though, so these drones will be long distance mining for a while. Stephano has grouped up in the middle low ground. Polt is now once again moving in towards the southeast. Stephano is retreating in front of him. Yeah, Polt's up at 140 supply to Stephano's 119. Healthy count of siege tanks being the bulk of Polt's army here. He has 13 of them. But also a decent amount of biosupport. A few medevacs. Stephano, a lot of Lings making it up towards Polt's 3rd.
Yeah, Polt's army moving down here though. The hatch just finished.
Ultralisks
Stimmins. He's gonna lose this hatch again.
Yep, Polt unopposed in removing that base. However, now Stephano's running in with the Lings and Ultralisks on this planetary fortress. He gets the surround on it. The planetary fortress goes down very quickly. He's also going to kill a lot of the SCVs. So neither player has an economy for the moment. Stephano once again trying to establish that other 3rd though. But Polt is moving in on Stephano's bases and has a very strong position. He's now working on killing the natural. Natural hatchery is going to die. Goes down.
Stephano's army is sort of not really sure what to do, just moving around in the middle of the map.
Polt managing to move out with another very large group of Marines and a couple more tanks to reinforce his army. Engage happening now. Ultras and Fungals catching the Terran army somewhat decently, except for the positioning. The close quarters, the tight choke there, favoring the Terran substantially. Allowing Polt to take that battle. Polt's up at 108, Stephano's 51. Polt is now just on the warpath, cleaning up Stephano's army. And Stephano says, well played, buddy. Congrats.
Yeah.
So that'll give the Winter Assembly to Polt. I believe he walked away with $10,000 to Stephano. I want to say 2nd place took 6. Great play from both players throughout that series. It seems like one of the big things that had been holding Polt back earlier was constantly being at an upgrade disadvantage, and he corrected that in the latter 2 games.
Yeah. Well, both the later games were kind of awkward as one of those, neither player really having bases for extended periods of time that were mining very well.
Yeah, both being limited econ games for both sides, and yet still being, constant heavy action. Very impressive. So yeah, I guess that belatedly completes our following of Polt's progression through Winter Assembly. And hopefully we'll find some more series from other good events to cast here. IPL and MLG have got to release their replays sometime, right?
In theory.